And here it is. My most requested video is doing a Webull desktop tutorial. So Webull is a free commissions trading broker for buying and selling stocks. It's one of the ones that I use more often than anything. Since I basically have this on my phone, I don't do a whole lot with it on the desktop, but it is really, really nice to have available for when I want to do a little bit more research and dive into the stock a little more. It's a no commissions broker. There's no setup fees. In fact, if you don't have an account yet, just go ahead and follow the link below, and they'll actually even set you up with a free stock, which is awesome. So what you're going to do first, go to Webull.com. You're going to click on Platform from the menu, and it'll take you to this web page. You just download whichever one of these options fits your computer that you're signing up for. For example, this would be a Windows since I'm on a Dell. Also, if you're going on a Mac, they've got an option for you there too. Cool, so let me show you what this looks like. And boom, here is Webull. So I'm going to just go ahead and start on the main screen. This shows like your account size. Right now this is on paper trading, which is if you haven't done any trading, and especially if you're day trading, this is the way you want to get started. If you want to go basically customize even this screen, you sure can. So this is where you can go, okay, I want this in English, exchange time, symbol, green arrows, hotkeys, like if you want to switch time intervals, move to stocks tab, trading. You can even set up how you automatically want trades to be set up right from the get-go. In addition to that, I can even reset my stock account size if I want to practice. Just say I want to do it with 1 million instead of 100,000, and you can. I'm not going to do that. But then let's go ahead and let's see, I'm going to add some stuff. In order to add stuff, I basically click over here where it says US Stocks Paper Trading, and I'm going to click on Widget Settings. So just like that. This will give me a whole bunch of options I can trade. Let's just lead you through this. So this is the paper account details. This is just my information. This is my current positions. This is stocks that I can, let me click out of that. So this is like a stock I might be interested in researching. It gives me, that's print orders. And then this basically just tells me what's actually happening to the stock. This is valuable mostly to day traders. Let's just say you're like, well, I'm not going to day trade. Then prints probably aren't going to be interesting to you, so you can just get rid of it. But let's just say you want to have the ability to order things quick and easy. Then this is where you'd want to do it. So let's just say I want to go Apple. Limit, I want to buy maybe 10 shares of Apple. What price is it trading at right now? It's trading at about $299.60. And I'm not saying this is a good entry, I'm just showing you how to do this. So we'll go 299.9 day. Yeah, basically if I click day, it just means for as long as today is. If I select GTC, that's good till canceled, that means until I decide I don't want to do it anymore. So I'm going to just click on day. Extended hours, in other words, before and after market closes. I'm just going to go ahead and click extended hours, no. And it'll remind you this is a paper trade, not a real trade. But it operates almost identical to when you do this with real money. I'm going to click paper trade. Please select buy sell. I'm going to buy it. I'm not shorting it. Paper trade. Submitted successfully. Okay, and I should be filled by this point. Let's see. My positions. Okay, filled orders. Apple. Okay, so this is filled. It'll say working if it hasn't filled yet. It has filled, which means I've got another 10 shares of Apple. And this will show if it's been canceled, failed, and then just everything that's happened. So I'm just going to go back to my filled order. So let's see. So that's a watch list, by the way, and I'll show you how to add more to your watch list in just a second. But yeah, this is a really cool way to look at this chart. I can add indicators like VWAP, which is a popular one, MACD, RSI, volume, which already shows up at the bottom, but you can add more. EMA and all that other great stuff, it is all available here. You can edit your indicators that are currently on just by giving them more specific inputs. These are just kind of like your defaults. And you can feel free to play with this. Look at this. I could even change this. Like if I wanted to actually even draw like a trend line and just say, hey, this is going from here to here. That's kind of like my uptrending support right there. If it goes under that, I know it's probably going to go down the long term. I can also draw one from the top to the bottom just by clicking trend line. Stuff that's a lot less likely that you'll be able to do this on the phone easily. So this is really a neat feature of the desktop. You can do everything from, you know, Fibonacci retracement. I mean, honestly, there's really, I swear you could draw SpongeBob on here, but it basically gives you a lot of ability to study a chart pattern. Oh gosh, breakfast burrito. And just show you where you need to be. Next, let's go to settings. I can show extended hours here, which I highly recommend. You can show the high, low price, overlapping volume, earnings, dividend splits, which are especially useful when you use these intervals right here. So looking back at this, I recommend just selecting all of this, because when you go to, like, say, you can look at a 5-minute chart, you can look at the 15-minute chart, but really, these are the ones, I only really use 1 minute and 5 minute. I don't get into 15, 30, and 1 hour, 2 hour, 4 hour. I don't look at any of these. That's just a preference of mine. I use the 1, 5, and then day, because this shows 1 year's worth of action. Now look at that. This is right after that whole coronavirus thing, so we're kind of in the bounce here. And anyway, check this out. It shows you the volume, how big the volume came in that day. Like right here on this bounce, you can tell that just because as this was tearing down, you had this big bounce off of the lows with a huge amount of volume, which means that it made perfect sense the next day would spike all the way up, which is awesome. So I also do like having that earnings and stuff on, because that's where it shows you. So if you're wanted to see how this thing usually, oh, by the way, if you want to make this smaller so you can see more time, just press those negative arrows. Press plus if you want to zoom in and see a spot. But I'm going to zoom out a little more because I actually want to see more. Earnings, you can just say, hey, on this earnings it started dipping lower, which means if it has negative earnings it tends to dip lower, but positive earnings it tends to continue trend up. You would think that would just be a regular thing, but it's not. This is actually something that just happens to be true of some stocks, in this case Apple. So you can kind of just say, while anything can happen, history does often repeat itself, and it's at least one part of telling the story of what might happen in the future. Anyway, so this is a really cool way of just looking at those charts. And if you want to add more widgets, like watch list, position, orders, NASDAQ, total view, time and sales, this is that thing I was talking about for day traders, trade, you can add all this stuff. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to add something to your watch list. So let's look up a stock. So let's go with, well, shoot, I'm wearing an Under Armour shirt, so let's go and do Under Armour. Okay, so Under Armour, kind of really crapping the bed at the moment, and they have been for a while, as you can tell. They had this nice spike up in January last year, which, I mean, kind of makes sense, considering that we're talking about something that's based in the fitness industry. And basically went up, tanked on, and there it is again. See, this is where you can go, what's the reason why this tanked? Because I have that selected, it tells me earnings. It was a negative surprise. Ouch. Yeah, that sucks. So they dropped hard, and because it was such a negative news, boom, tanked here. It doesn't show necessarily what news is here, but I can basically watch as it goes up. And then another earnings came out. Crap the bed again. But, kind of hell, what was the story here? It was actually a good earnings. They did 24% better than expected, which is good. So, even, it wasn't quite what made investors totally happy, but it didn't hurt the long-term chart. It did seem to have a nice upturn here, and then once again, crap the bed with a negative 4.76 surprise, and it's just been going down ever since. And really not entirely related to coronavirus. It is affected by it, but again, it's just been downtrending with those earnings anyway. Now let's just say we're in a position which is available right now. Yeah, let's just say I really like to just keep an eye on this. I can click add to watch list, add it to my watch list. I can also alert myself by saying if the price goes above, let's say $14, then tell me. Frequency, once per minute, unlimited, just I guess anytime it goes above 14, but I'm just going to go once. So now I should go save successfully, and there's my alert. It'll tell me when it goes above 14. So really slick, really easy. You'll see real-time quotes. If it's marginable, in other words, if it can be bought on margin, shortable. I'm not going to get into shorting or anything on this, but yeah, that is honestly how you use the desktop version. It's clean and it's easy. Again, if you have not set up a Webull account, just follow the link down at the bottom. It'll give you a free stock starting up. I also benefit from it, but hey, since I use it, I don't mind getting an extra benefit from it either. It's a sweet program, and the cool thing is it also gives a lot of incentives through Webull. For example, I got an email just barely saying that if I deposit $2,000 more into my account, they'll give me 5 free stocks. Well, that would be on top of the other free stocks that I've gotten from them just by depositing money. So they do have a lot of great incentives. They have, I think, a paper trading competition going on right now, where you can also win like Amazon gift cards and things like that. So it's a cool new broker, and they're yeah, they've got great customer service. So other than that, that's the Webull desktop tutorial. If you have any questions, just head up to Stock Trader Jack. You can also email me at stocktraderjack@gmail.com.